I didn't see you there. Haha. So I don't know about you, but on my off days, I like to set up incredibly difficult shots that are really hard to expose properly, and I probably look like shit right now because the window's overpowering my scene. Well, I figured while today's my off day, I might as well give you a setup tour. You know, spend a little one-on-one time with you on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Just kind of show you how I play video games, my setup, how I record, all that fun stuff. What I use to film. And then at the end, I actually, in a last video, which I'm not going to link to it actually now that I think about it because it doesn't really make much sense. But in the prior video, I asked you guys to ask me some questions for an FAQ. So, let's do it. Don't ever drink tea with a little stir in the way. It hits you in the eye and you feel retarded. And because I know people are going to be asking, if you want to drink tea along with me this morning, today's blend is English breakfast with a little bit of plantation mint. So yeah, go brew yourself a mug and let's start our tour. All right, guys. Well, this is my setup. This is where all the magic happens. I've got my TV here. I just turned on the Super Nintendo for something for background footage. So let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got like 12, 13 consoles here hooked up. Man, switching angles really fucked with my lighting. I look like shit now, but that's okay. Wow. Okay. So does Pokemon Green. That's great. Anyway, so I have let's just go down the list of what I got. So I've got a Super Famicom, Super Nintendo original, 2 Wiis. One's mine that I've modded to shit and back, and one's my family's, my in-laws. Theirs is the official one, so if we want to play a disc-based game, we play that one. Otherwise, you know, do the modded one. Nintendo 64, NES, Super Nintendo, Xbox 360, Sega Dreamcast, PS3, and PS2, and Xbox One. Woohoo! I would have a PS4, but there's not really much point. Most of the games that I would play, I would actually rather have a PS4 than my Xbox One. My Xbox One's a piece of shit, but that's a video for another day. The modern consoles are all hooked up via HDMI, so Wii U, PS3, Xbox One. The Xbox 360 is actually hooked up via VGA, believe it or not, for higher quality. My camera's trying to tell me that's overheating, sorry guys. And the PS2 is actually hooked up via RGB using my old capture card that died, because it comes with this cable for the PS3 intended to get a component, since you can't record HDCP and all that fun stuff. So I actually abused that and used that to get RGB out of my PS2 and then convert that to HDMI. So it actually looks pretty cool. I'll splice in some footage and all that fun stuff. The Switch is HDMI as well, obviously. Super Nintendo, 64, and the Famicom are S-Video. So yeah, I got my sensor bar, you know, for the Wii games. Yeah. And I'll show you guys my cabling setup back here now. It's kind of a nightmare, so I apologize in advance. But basically, my TV is an audio hub. I have 2 outputs coming from my TV. One is standard red, yellow, red, blue, red, white, whatever these colors are. Right and left audio. And then the other one is digital. Digital goes to my sound system so I can get 5.1 off of the Xbox and all that fun stuff. And plus, it makes a cleaner signal. It's easier for watching movies and stuff. And then I have analog out for whenever I'm recording the consoles. So I actually got a new capture card, which I'll show, you know, whenever I get to that point. So it does HDMI, composite component, as well as DVI and VGA. So I can actually record literally anything I want to now, which is awesome. So expect some Packard Bell old school reviews. You can expect a lot more console reviews now that I'm using S-Video. Got an S-Video splitter. The Nintendo consoles record beautifully with it. Wii U, PS3, like I'm ready to go for all of it now, which is great. So yeah, so basically I just kind of HDMI, I have a splitter, so everything that goes via HDMI through the switcher then gets split to both the TV and the capture card using this cable. So whenever I plug in this cable to the capture card, whatever's on the TV goes to, whatever's HDMI on the TV goes to the capture card. And then I have to use splitters for composite for the Wii rather, and S-Video. I'm hoping to eventually get S-Video for the Wii, make that a little bit easier. Or I might just start playing all my Wii games on the Wii U to make it even easier. So yeah, that's all that works. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do audio on the Packard Bell, so I might have to do some weird like line into my mixer, stuff like that. We'll figure that out when it comes to it. Yeah, my surround sound setup's an RCA, like this old RCA from like 2000. It just works. My grandparents gave it to me because my grandfather's slightly hard of hearing, and my grandmother was kind of tired of him cranking it up to 50, so she snuck the speakers to me and just said, just take them. So I did, gladly. And Pokemon Green's still messing up. Cool. So yeah, but that's my play setup. Whenever I'm playing, I sit on the couch, or I'll be over here on my computer and I'll just screen mirror to the TV so Megan can watch or whatever. And yeah, we all have a good time. It's a lot of fun. And it looks cool having all the consoles on display. Do I actually have all my? I actually do have all my consoles on display now, which is nice. This is actually the third time I've tried to record this, because every time I record it, something in my setup changes, and it's like a major change. So I was like, crap. But yeah, we're good this time. I think that's pretty much it. Let's switch over to the other side of the room where my game collection is, all the controllers are, and my desk, and then we'll kind of go into detail on that. All right, well, now that we're not over there anymore, let's focus on over here. This is a really stupid shot. I apologize for hand camming right here for a second, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys the scale of the room here so that you can understand the small space I'm working in. So over here is the couch and everything. There's the TV and all of the setup. There's the door to the rest of the house. Here's the closet. That's basically just long-term storage at this point. Here's my desk, which is right here in the middle of everything. Ignore the TVception. Computers and everything are down here. And then the set is actually behind you here. Everything. So it's a really tight constrained space. So it's kind of hard to film in. But I just wanted to show you guys the scale of everything. I guess the dresser's back here because I don't have anywhere else to put it. I just want to show you guys the scale before I kind of got into it. But yeah, let's dive into it. First, let's take a look at my computer desk and show you guys all of that fun stuff. All right, well, this is where most of the fun and most of the action takes place, believe it or not. So my monitor, I have a Dell S2440L, I believe it is. It's a 1080p glass monitor, 24-inch, I believe. Mouse and keyboard. My keyboard is a Razer Black Widow Chroma. Love that thing. My mouse is a Cyborg Rat7's the wireless one. Come on, camera focus. There we go. Yeah, it's cool. I've had it. It was a graduation present, so I've had it for like 5-6 years. And I'm actually thinking I'm just going to buy another one because it's just that good. My speakers are actually a little different. So I actually use, and it's blocked by my T, thanks. But I actually use a Earforce DSS as my audio solution. So I have optical out from my sound card, which is a Sound Blaster Recon Pro 3D PCI, because that gives me Dolby encoding. So I can actually have true 5.1 surround sound. So that goes into that. And then the little audio out thingy at the front, I either plug in my headphones or my speakers. So the speakers I use are actually from the side of a Packard Bell. From the monitor, actually, I have for the Packard Bell. Just because, it's very easy to do. I had the little JBL flip. I actually had to repair this one. There's an interesting story there, but we'll get into that in another video. So my headphones go here on my mic stand. My mic stand is actually designed to be fully detachable. I kind of leave the mount here, and I just unscrew this and take the mount out when I'm not using it. So I have a AKG Perception 220, as my camera doesn't focus on it. There we go. So yeah, so I have an AKG Perception 220 is what I use. It's an XLR mic. I have that going to my little cheap mixer down here, which I actually kind of need to move back up onto the table. But it's just a 4-channel mixer, 2 XLR, 2 line-in, headphone monitoring, all that fun stuff. Really basic, just kind of works. And here's my actual computer. Full specs will be in the description below the video, but I have i7 6700K, GTX 780 graphics card, 16 gigs of RAM, blah, blah, blah. You can check the rest out in the description below. And here I have 2 RAID cards that I'm actually going to be putting in eventually. I need to get another hard drive for the archive, and once I do that, I'll be moving to these RAID cards. And then over here is the Packard Bell in all of its glory. And what are those games on top? Could that be a spoiler for a future video, maybe? Oh, man. Oh, man. Does Descent still have the original shrink wrap on it? Oh, man. Does it still have the original patch floppy with it? Oh, man. Yeah, but now that I have my capture card up and going, this will actually be really cool to be able to film directly off the Packard Bell. So expect some DOS videos, and all that fun stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. As far as editing software that I use just the Adobe Suite, Premiere, Photoshop. I do use GIMP or Audacity for audio sometimes. Sometimes I use Adobe Audition. It just really kind of depends on my workflow at the time. I'm actually in the middle of kind of reorganizing my project settings as well, so I don't know if I'm going to show this off as well. So yeah, I kind of just have YouTube in its own folder. Eventually, once I get the NAS up and going, that'll just kind of be on the network, and that way I'm not using up hard drive space on my computer for this kind of thing. But I sort everything out into... I'm trying to sort everything out, so I have just like raw recordings right here, and then once I know what project it's going to be going into, going from here on out, I have everything broken down into individual categories here. So like, for example, if I want to go to my Hard for Games interview, this has all of the camera footage, this has all of the audios, all of the pictures, like everything that could possibly be needed for the project. So that way, if I ever need to come back to it again, I have all of the assets and everything right there, and I can just grab that one folder, throw it on the hard drive, and we're good. We don't have to worry about it. Some of my older projects, unfortunately, weren't quite that well archived. So let's see. Let's just go to projects here. So yeah, so this is the older stuff. So this is like season 1. The season 1 stuff was like really terribly saved. But yeah, that's basically how it works. I have Premiere projects and everything that I've worked on and just polished over the last 2 years, whatever. So I'm not going to go into all of that because that's just a bunch of technical, boring know-how, behind-the-scenes stuff. If I get enough interest, maybe I'll do like this is how I shoot an episode, and I'll kind of just do a breakdown and show you exactly what goes into the script writing process and the filming process and the gameplay footage, all that fun stuff. But that's not going to be this video. So yeah, actually what I'd like to show you now is how I do all of my capture work. So I'm going to come to the other side of the desk. I apologize for the really weird camera angle and everything. But this is my new capture card. This is the StarTech USB 3 HD cap. It's actually a rebranding of a MyComSoft capture card, which, if you know MyComSoft, they're the guys who made the Framemeister. So this is a really, really, really freaking good capture card. And it's actually cheaper than the MyComSoft. The only downside is that this one doesn't have outputs. It only has inputs, and the inputs are kind of weird. But it does HDMI, DVI, VGA, and then it's got like a multi-in port for component, composite, S-video, all that fun stuff. So when I'm recording off the Packard Bell, I have the VGA cable here, which leads directly into the capture card. I don't have a splitter for it. I don't really have room for the CRT, so I just play directly off the capture card. The latency isn't that bad for old school games. I wouldn't play Doom on it, but for review purposes, it works. And then whenever I'm wanting to record the consoles, I have my HDMI cable, which is split off like I showed earlier, and then I have the S-video VGA composite, or I'm sorry, the S-video composite, blah blah blah, all that fun stuff goes in here. And then I record with either Amarek, the built-in software, or OBS, just depending on my situation. Kind of drops frames here and there. I think that might just be because I'm trying to figure out my whole software situation. It's not all figured out yet, so it's not perfect, but it is getting there. I might show some quality recording tests right here while I'm doing this. But yeah, it looks really, really, really freaking good, and I'm really excited for this thing. Okay, and now it's time for other super artistic shot that's super long focal length and probably looks really weird because I don't have that much room in my apartment for these kind of shots. But yeah, behind me, that's the set. So that way you guys can just kind of see. I like to have all of my big game boxes on display, my PC big boxes, phone boxes, amiibos, console boxes, whatever looks nice behind me. And I switched up a lot too. This set is going to be where I do most of my filming, to be 100% honest. just because it's the easiest place for me to control. It's the easiest place for me to make look good, and it's kind of the central location for all of my games and everything. So it's really easy to point to things on a shelf and be like, hey, here we go, yeah. But yeah, I have my gaming setup arranged in such a way where the big PC boxes are kind of right here. Cartridge games go on the top. The only reason I have my Game Boy Color and my Core i7 box there is just to take up space because I don't have enough cartridge games yet. I'm working on rebuilding all of my childhood game collection for consoles, for cartridges. So we're getting there, but it's just going to be some time. As people message me on Facebook, God damn it, I'm filming. So yeah, so I have all my cartridge games. Nintendo 64, what is that? That is Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, and then I have my my bootleg Famicom games. So those are pretty good. Those of you who paying attention, the 3 orange ones are the Russian ones, but there's 2 yellow ones. Ooh, what are those? Aha, teasing, maybe for future videos. And then just all the PC stuff from there on out, just because it looks nice. Will I rearrange my set? Yes, because I don't have a lot of room in here. Will we move? Yes, we're going to eventually move. Is it going to be soon? No, moving's expensive. We live in Florida, so it's expensive as shit down here. But yeah. So yeah, as much as I would really like to sit here and do my FAQ in this style and in this lighting with this camera, I've been recording for 3 minutes already, and I'm already getting the overheat warning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the old angle that you guys are used to, which is kind of me sitting at the desk, and I'm going to use my phone to record the next little bit. So yeah, it's going to look like not that bad, but not great either. At least the lighting will be a little better. I need the light to be like right there. Can you just like lean against my TV like right there? Perfect. Cool. But yeah, the only other thing that I really haven't shown off is all of my controllers. So I'm sure I'll splice in some B-roll once my camera's cooled down. But it's basically just a setup for an easy way to grab and go with all of my stuff. I can just grab the controller I want, come sit over here on the couch, and we're good. But yeah, let's tackle that FAQ now. You guys left me some interesting questions. I can't wait to answer them. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Alright, well, I apologize for the, oh my god, why is it so dark again? Sun, come back out. I'll probably play with this in post. But yeah, let's do this. This angle is going to be a little bit different because, again, I have to use my phone for this because Sony and their overheating problems. It's great. I love it. I'm also not using my, fix my lav here. I'm also not using my desktop mic. I'm going to use my lav for consistency's sake. So yeah, let's see what wonderful, terrible things you guys asked me. So the first comment we have is from Speed Gaming. Would you pay the troll toll to get the little boy's hole? I just want to go on record and say this was the guy who on my stream of playing Doom 2016 told me to just do a bunch of kids. Just putting that out there. Viking Drunkard asked, when will the AI overlords rise to enslave us all, and will you be welcoming them with open arm? I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd say my left. It's either that or, I mean, like I try to punch them and then they just break my arm and then, you know, I'd rather not go through all of that. Real talk though, Google's doing some scary shit with AI and it really scares the shit out of me. Like, it's bad. Google, stop it. Stop whatever it is you're doing because it's bad. Don't do it. Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? Well, I actually have a friend who works at Dunkin' Donuts, so I'm going to have to say Dunkin' Donuts. That's totally why. No, actually, I think Starbucks coffee and their food, just the whole thing, Starbucks in general just kind of sucks. I don't like their business, their theming, basic white bitches, like the whole thing. I just don't like it. Plus, Dunkin' Donuts just makes good food and good coffee and good donuts, and their morning bagels, like the steak bagels, are actually really good, and it's cheap compared to McDonald's food, and it's good. But that's enough ranting about food. Let's move on. If you could change anything about your life, what would it be? Wow. Okay. Bluey knows how to kick me in the nuts with the feels. I've actually had to. So, like I said earlier, I've refilmed this like 3 or 4 times. The first 2 times I went on a little bit of a rant, and my wife says that I probably shouldn't upload that, and I probably shouldn't say the things that I said in that video. But I'm going to simplify it and say that if I could change one thing about my life, what would it be? I'm just going to keep it simple and say that I wish my father was never in my life. I think I would be better off if the first half of my life wasn't intermixed with his meddling, because I have plenty of stories there, but like I said, I'm not really allowed to share them, and we'll be here for hours. So, yeah, we're not going to get into that, but I'd have to say that I just kind of wish that my father just stayed the fuck out of my life. That would make things a lot better. And that also explains why the last tail end of my life has been a lot better, is because drama I'm not going to get into. You guys don't come here for drama, and you guys don't come here for that. So, moving on. Mr. Square Art asks, are you in a building? Do you know what you doing 848 minutes? Yes. Surgeon Snips asks, what are your favorite bands? I'm big into metal, I'm big into rock, I'm big into grunge, pretty much, God, like when I used to live in Georgia, they had a radio station called The Project 961. They played stuff like Avenged Sevenfold, Metallica, Tool, Pantera, Five Finger Death Punch, like that style of music. Nirvana, Foo Fighters, like just like that kind of, just like that rock and roll, like punk rock, metal, just like that mix. That's what I like. That's what I'm into. My favorite band of all time is Avenged Sevenfold. And my favorite album of them is a toss-up between Self-Titled, the White Album, or Waking the Fallen. But I like the Gorillaz, I like Beastie Boys, I like Leonard Skinner, like you name it, I probably listen to it and I probably like it. It'd be easier for me to say music that I don't like, which is rap, hip-hop, R&B, country, contemporary Christian. I don't mind gospel Christian, and I don't mind like choir Christian. But the Christian that tries to be all rock and haha, we're cool, we got a band, like it's just, that irritates me. Why is it getting darker outside? You keep messing with my lighting. I finally got everything perfect, and then you just keep fucking with it. Stop. But yeah. In fact, actually, if you guys want to follow me on Spotify, I think you can do that, and you can see what kind of music I listen to, like my playlists and everything. So yeah, if I can figure out how to do that, it'll be in the description. Dr. Graves asks, what's your favorite SCP? SCP Containment Breach, because that's the only one I've played, and I've played 10 minutes of it. The teddy bear thing with green eyes, it like ate the dude's head, like just clean off. So yeah, I like him. I don't know if you're asking what my favorite game is or what my favorite actual creature is. So if it's the creature, it's the teddy bear thing with the green eyes. It looks like it belongs in Zen and eats the dude's head just clean off. That's what I like. If you're asking about my game, the only one I have experience with is Containment Breach. But I think there's like others, but I don't know if they're official. I think they might be fan games. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Maybe one day. You know what? Maybe one day I'll review SCP. That would be an interesting video. And now the light's back out. Thank you, nature. And now we get into the section where one dude literally asked like 3/4 of the questions. So Faded, otherwise known as that dude at the Xbox, otherwise known as I think my earliest hardcore subscriber, because I have a bunch of dudes who just kind of watch casually. Faded watched like hardcore, and so yeah, he's cool. Faded asks, what are your exact coordinates? I'm sending them to Trump so he can bomb you. Okay. Those coordinates are on the screen right now. Don't click on them. You'll probably end up on a government watch list because it's actually Area 51. It's supposed to be a joke here, and I could think of a funny joke. I was going to do like a major city, but then I was like, no, I don't want to be a terrorist because I'm not one. Well, now that I'm on a watch list. What would you do with a small loan of $1 million? I know you're being a sarcastic asshole, but what I would actually do with a loan, I would start my own business. You know, I do cell phone repair, so I would do that. Yeah, that'd be what I'd do. Hopefully find a place where I can... realistically, what I would do is I would open up shop in like a really busy city, in like a really busy spot, and use that $1 million as like my rent for like a little bit, and then like my tools and stuff like that. So I can probably get by using like like less than 10 grand as startup costs, and then use the rest of the million for just rent. So that way I just don't have to worry about it. I can just do my thing. And then, yeah, basically just treat the first. Because, like, even if I pick, like, a really expensive spot in a really big city, we're still talking, like, a burn rate of, like, it'll easily get me through a year plus, unless I pick, like, a really expensive city. But even so, with the income that I'd be generating, you know, it should off-balance it. But if I don't open a repair shop, I think what I'd like to do is open a retro game store. Because the one that's here sucks ass crack. And they piss me off pretty frequently. So that's a topic for another day. What would you do for a Klondike bar? I would kill you. Favorite game ever? That is a really, 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 really hard question to answer. You might as well ask me, like, what my favorite song is ever. I'd have to say that the game I spent the most time on probably has to be Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Like, I easily have at least 1,500, if not 2,000 plus hours into that game. As far as, like, my favorite game genre, I love shooters. First-person shooters. Those are my favorite. Doom, Quake, Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty. Shooters are my jam. I also like Metroid. Metroid's probably my favorite console game series. Metroid's fantastic. AM2R sucks ass crack. I don't care what anyone says. Doesn't have the polish it needs. Doesn't have the game design input that it needs. It's a very amateurish effort. And there's a reason I got crucified in my review, because everybody disagrees with me, but I don't care. Maybe one day I'll revisit that video. We'll see. What game are you looking forward to this year? I don't have anything that I'm looking forward to this year, to be 100% honest with you. Super Mario Odyssey flat out doesn't interest me. I have no desire to play Sonic 06 Mario Edition. What else is even coming out this year? I don't even know what's coming out this year. Let me open up Steam real quick and see what's like on the coming soon. Like, I'm just kind of browsing through the Steam upcoming release schedule here, and just nothing kind of seems to interest me. I'm excited for Desiga 5, whatever. I'm going to get that for my Switch. I played the demo. That's pretty fucking great. Star Trek Bridge Crew actually looks really good. Really, really, really good. The problem is I don't have a Vive. I have a Gear VR, so maybe I can, like, kind of hack it and figure out a way to make it work. That'd be kind of cool. But, yeah, Star Trek Bridge Crew, nothing really looks interesting to me. Yeah, I'm just looking through, just nothing is popping out as cool. I will tell you what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping that Nintendo announces a Switch Metroid game. That would be fantastic. That's what I'm looking forward to. They announced that at E3. But, like, I'm sitting here looking through it, nothing looks interesting. I was really looking forward to Quake Champions, and it was fun up until the beta went public, and then all the good people got on, and I just wanted to kill myself. So that was fun while it lasted. I can't have fun with that game anymore because everyone's way too good. Destiny 2, I don't even know if that's coming out this year. It'd be interesting to take a look at that. I was not really a fan of the first Destiny, but it'll be on PC, so I'll at least look at it. Some Doom DLC would be nice. Like a Doom single-player expandalone would be fantastic. But that's all stuff that I want to happen, not stuff that I know is coming out. So it's like, okay, Faded, once again, wants to know, how much did marriage change your life? It changed it in every single way possible, while also simultaneously not changing it in the slightest. Because, I mean, like, Megan's already been, like, my best friend. I love her to death. And the only thing that really changed is we signed a piece of paper, and now we can file taxes together. That's pretty much the only thing that's changed. But at the same time, everything's changed because my love for her has gotten so deep, and it's just it's such a fantastic thing. Being married is wonderful. You want to simultaneously kill the person that you spend the rest of your life with, and you just want to just kiss them and hug them all the time. It's great. If I throw a triangle out of a car and the car is going 20 miles per hour and wind resistance is a thing that exists, how many cupcakes can Pedro buy with one human soul?
Walrus, don't make me do your homework for you, you little bitch.
Okay, we're back to normal now. That was interesting. Was that worth it for the joke? Probably not. Where's my child support money, Dad? You told me you were going to Walmart and never came back. XD. I'm not your dad. Jonathan is my blood. You are not. I don't even know who you are. I don't even know what you look like. That's not going to hold up in court, is it? Do you like Telltale games like The Walking Dead, and do you think that it will continue to be a growing community of choice-driven games? To answer the second part of your question, yes, I do think it will eventually be part of the growing community of choice-driven games. As for the first part of your question, no, I don't really like choice-driven games. I think they're kind of stupid. I'm trying to think how to answer this. I haven't actually seen The Walking Dead. I've seen like a few episodes and it just doesn't interest me. It's just not my thing. As far as the whole like Tales of the Borderlands and all that fun stuff, like that style of game, do I think it's going to be a thing in the future? Yes. Am I ever going to be interested in it? No. I don't like Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain's good, but it's like you play it once and it's like, oh, what's the point? Just choice-driven games just don't interest me. It's the same thing like with open world games. Like open world games are cool, but I just play the story quests and then I just get bored and quit playing. Like the side quests just don't do it for me. So it's just not my thing, personally. But I can totally see it becoming a thing, like a huge thing later on. Do I think it's going to reach the popularity of like the first-person shooter genre, like circa 2009, 2010? No. It definitely has its niche though, and it's going to stay around for a while. Do you still have the laptop with the screen ripped off it? How many of you have ever just found random electronics in your closet that you kind of forgot that you had and then dedicated like an entire weekend to fixing it? Well, that's what I did. Anybody who's an old fan of this channel should recognize this beast. It's the laptop. It's alive. Yes, I do. Expect more. I'm actually thinking of doing a dedicated video with that thing not too long from now. Maybe I think the way that I'm going to do it is like playing modern games on the older computer and like benchmarking it and just to see. But yeah, she lives. It's great. Also, I'm editing and I just realized I missed this one real quick. Favorite movie is Alien. The first Alien movie. It's good. It's really fucking good. It's really good. Like, you should go watch it like right now. What's your favorite and/or dream car? I currently drive a 2010 convertible Mustang and I love that thing to death. As far as dream car goes, I'm not really that into cars. I'd love to have a Tesla. I would fucking love to have a Tesla, but I'm not a car nut. What are your goals for the future? Well, he actually specifically called off YouTube career and life. I'm not sure if it was YouTube, career, life, or my YouTube career, but I'm going to address both. As far as my YouTube career goes, I will consider myself successful when two things happen. One, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, and two, when I start seeing YouTube poops made. And I don't just mean like the obscure ones with like 6 views that are just like terribly made. I mean like CS188 makes a YouTube poop and it gets like 100,000 views. That'll be when I consider myself successful. What I'd like to do going forward in the future is I really am not happy with the state of game journalism as it is right now. So I'd like to eventually build my channel and my brand, kind of like revitalizing journalism. Think of it a lot as like what NoClip is doing, because he's kind of NoClip was built as a platform for people who think game journalism kind of sucks nowadays, and I agree. There needs to be a lot more behind the scenes. There needs to be less of a focus on money on things. Do I ever intend on going full-time with YouTube? No, not really, because I'm not into YouTube for the money. I just want to get my opinions out there. I want to interact with my fans. I love interacting with I love the fact that I have fans. Like, even though I have like probably like 6 to 10 people who actually like religiously watch my content. But you have no idea what the 10 of you mean to me. And that's why I do YouTube. And that's just my goal in the future, is just to have more people to share my opinions with and more people that like my opinion on things. I'd like to do a lot of game interviews. I'd like to do a lot of journalistic side of things. Like, I'd love to go to E3 and just kind of give off that. I know that E3 is dying and I probably will regret that, but I'd love to do like show coverage. I'd love to do, a dream goal would be to interview Shigeru Miyamoto. Like, that would be awesome, because I did the interview with Hard for Games. That was kind of like getting my foot in the door for like interviewing people, so I could kind of reference and be like, hey, this is the last interview I did. I'd like to do something with you, blah, blah, blah. So that was kind of my foray into journalism, and I'd like to actually be a real games journalist one day. But I don't want to do it for corporate. I don't want to do it for anything. I just want to do it for my YouTube channel because my fans would want to see that stuff, and because they respect my opinion and they respect the fact that I'm trying to revive. I used to be trying to revive PC gaming, but now I've just kind of gone on to reviving the glory days of gaming in general with games journalism and everything. So that's my eventual goal. Will I ever hit that goal? Realistically, probably not. I have so much going on in my personal life right now. But if I have the opportunity to, and my YouTube channel actually keeps growing and it hits a point where it's going to just keep growing, then yeah, I will go all in on YouTube. As it is right now, I love doing it and I love doing videos, but it's a hobby. You know, like I said, I don't get a lot of views in my videos. I don't have a huge fan base, so it's not like, you know, I don't get paid for it. So it's nothing major. But I love doing it for you guys that are there, and I'd love to keep doing it. You know, it's just a matter of figuring out the logistics side of things and kind of building my path to what I want in the future, starting with what I have now, which is the hard part. But I'm doing what I can, guys. Life is crazy right now. With a 10-month-old about to be 11-month-old, you know, I run a store. I work 6 days a week, and right now I'm working open to close. So it's like there's a lot on my plate right now, and I'm doing everything I can. I have plans for production schedules, but you know what? Sometimes life gets in the way. So I apologize, but like I said, eventually if I have a way to really go hard on YouTube, like, trust me, I will. But as it is right now, it's just a hobby. On a scale of 1 to... How hard is adulting? Holy shit, don't ever grow up. It's a lie. Stay like 14 and live with your parents forever. It's great. It's rewarding in times. Like, I can drink. That's fantastic. Life sucks. Having to pay rent sucks. Bills suck. Having to be responsible is terrible. I love it, but it's terrible. It's a trap. What or who keeps you motivated? Honestly, this is going to sound super shallow, and this is going to sound really egotistical, but I love seeing the numbers, and I love seeing the comments, and I love seeing the like ratio on videos. I love having interactions with people on Twitter. I love having live streams and having people just get the notifications and pop in on my streams. Like, that's the stuff that keeps me going, is to see that people are actually interested in what I'm doing and actually want to stick around for what I'm doing. Like, I could get, like, and even if you look at my other videos, the ones that get me the most views are the ones that I care the least about. Like Gear VR, where I did GTA 5 in the Gear VR, I don't care about that video. Someone posted it to Reddit, and then once it got a certain point of views, YouTube, the algorithm took off. So it's like, just whatever. Like, I don't care. These people don't care about me. They just want to see the video. The Alien series retrospective, that was, I think, one of my favorite videos, and it got viewed one of the least out of the current JamesAtGames videos that I've been putting out. But I'm so much happier with that video because my fans absolutely loved that video. Everyone I've shown that video to absolutely loves it. And that feedback that I get, that's what keeps me going. That's what pushes me to do more. The actual view numbers, not that important, but the likes and the comments and the people telling me, dude, this is awesome, I love this. Well, I just realized that my lab fell off. I don't know when that happened. So I apologize for the shitty audio quality where I probably had to swap over to the camera for a while there. Is a zebra white with black stripes or black with white stripes? You fucking racist. How dare you ask me that question? If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Mine personally would be the ability to manipulate time. Mine would be the ability to always say the right thing at the right time. And I know that sounds really stupid and cliche and blah, 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 but I can't tell you how many times, because I have social anxiety, and I can't tell you how many times I've said something really stupid and just like wanted to stick my foot in my mouth and just run away. So it'd be really nice to be able to say the right things at the right time. Not always for good, because sometimes you just want to like utterly destroy somebody because they're annoying and you don't like them. So it's nice to know exactly what to say and how to say it and the timing perfectly, so you just utterly humiliate them, you know. I would use it. I would be chaotic neutral with that. I would just kind of use it for whatever the situation demands. That'd be my superpower. What are the best and worst things that have ever happened to you? I've already kind of touched on the worst thing that's happened to me, but the best thing that's ever happened to me is Jonathan and meeting Megan. I was at a really rough time in my life, as I'm sure some of you subscribers from back then remember. I broke up with my then girlfriend at the time, and then we moved down here to Florida, and that was a really rough time for me. And meeting Megan kind of pulled me out of that funk, and I've just been consistently happy since then. If you could have one thing in life, what would it be and why? I don't want to be rich, but I want to not have to worry about money anymore. I want to just be able to, I want to be able just to buy things because I think they're cool, and I want to be able to buy things for my family because, you know, they want, like, I want to be able to buy Megan clothes, or I want to be able to buy Megan, you know, a new game system or whatever. I want to be able to go out and just buy the new video game whenever I want to. Like, the only reason I still have these two shelves is because, I don't really have it in the budget. My brakes just went out on me, so I had to, you know, pay for that. So there goes all my fun money for the next little bit. So it's like things like that. It sucks, and I'd rather just not have to worry about it. I'd rather not have to stress about rent, and I'd rather not have to stress about everything. Do you plan to have more children? Yes. I know for a fact we want a daughter. We're probably going to end up with a couple more sons before then, but I know for a fact we're talking about maybe about 3 right now. Originally it was 5, but now we've had Jonathan. It's like maybe 3. I think our ideal would be 2 sons and a daughter. Our daughter's going to be named Alexandria James. The other names we haven't quite figured out yet. What are you most proud of, and what are you least proud of? I'm most proud of the way that I've grown, because I'm sure you guys on YouTube remember how young and immature I was back then. I'm most proud of just the way that I've grown and how not only my content has matured, but I've matured with it, and I think I've grown up and I've made a positive impact in the world. At least I'm not a shithead going around burning down schools, you know. Can you demonstrate your drawing skills on camera? So, since I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 5 right now, I figured I would draw something relevant to that. So I'm about to blow you guys away. Ready for this? So we gotta have, you know, like the little Afghanistan hills, you know, and here's gonna be like a little bush. It's like here's our heroin bush, and then we got a horse. Gotta draw a little tail. There we go. I'm actually legitimately trying right now. Like I'm kind of joking, but at the same time I'm like not. This is not me being a Mimi. This is like actual serious time right now. Okay, then you try to draw a horse, but then realize that you accidentally drew the Loch Ness monster. So you gotta draw, you know, like a little its mane. You gotta draw like a little nose. Yeah, there you go. Okay, there's my horse. Now we gotta draw a snake. He's got a big beard. He's got like long, unkempt hair. Middle. Gear. There you go. Hey, there you go. There's my. This is Metal Gear Solid 5. Doesn't this just? Oh, hang on. I gotta draw the. There you go. There's this robot hand. You can draw like a little reins and like a little saddle. You know. Like what kind of primitive person doesn't ride a horse with a saddle? There you go. That looks about right. Oh yeah, we gotta draw a little drink gun. Ooh. There you go. Oh yeah. This is just flawless. Well, now that I put you guys through that torturous hell, when you become a bigger product/game review channel, will you branch off into other things, or will you keep it strictly reviews? If by other things you mean like Let's Play channels and stuff like that, vlog channels, probably not. I will consistently be changing my content because you have to change with the times. You have to change with yourself. If you just keep doing the same thing, it's going to get stale. And like I was saying earlier, like I've kind of matured and my content has changed as I've matured. Will I still be doing reviews? Yes. Or they're going to be the same style? No. Will I be doing other things? Yeah. Like I have plans to do like a benchmarking video. I have a really, really, really funny video that I'm planning that I'm trying to figure out how exactly to do. that's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. It has to do with benchmarking. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of keep with that. I'm just going to kind of keep with the tech area and just play around with the bubble, but going outside of tech and like doing things like vlogging or, you know, like I might do movie reviews, stuff like that, but I still consider that part of the whole review thing, part of the whole tech bubble. And finally, the last question. What video did you have the most fun recording? I actually had a lot of fun recording this video because it wasn't scripted. I just kind of looked around the room and was like, okay, that'll be a cool shot, let's do that. And then I just did it. Or this will be a cool shot, let's do that. And I just did it. I love that kind of shooting. My second favorite video that was my favorite to record was my iPhone 7 Plus review, which still hasn't been released yet because I'm still kind of working on that, figuring out how exactly I want to do that. And my third favorite video would have been be an even 50-50 between the Alien retrospective and the bootleg NES Russian games. Those are both really fun to shoot. The Alien retrospective was more fun because it was just a lot more intense of a project and was really hands-on and blah, blah, blah. The bootleg NES games was just a fun subject. And like I said, that wasn't scripted either. That was all just on the fly. And most of that was actually done in one take, believe it or not. There was one or two clips that I had to redo once or twice. But that was it. It was all one take. But yeah, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching this video. I know this is kind of a lame way to repay you all, but it's something, you know. I appreciate all your support. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Leave me a comment down below. Maybe ask questions for another Q&A if I ever do them again. Whatever. I don't know. But I'll see you around, guys. Thank you again. I appreciate it. If I throw a triangle out of a car and the car is going 20 miles per hour and wind resistance, blah, that's a tricky thing to say.